Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. Wednesday night, May the 11th. These are the charts of the day. Today, in addition to some regular stocks, we're going to go over some ETFs, particularly the oil and silver ultra shorts that are looking very intriguing here. Starting off with the DUG, Pro Shares Ultra Short Oil and Gas. You'll see that a long downtrend here may have been arrested. We'll have to see. But right now, after double bottoming around 25.5 here, the mid-April high was taken out. That's the first time that a high was taken out, going all the way back for about a year. So promising. This spike up here got up to about 30.5. This got up to about 30.27 today. So it came a little bit short and backed off to close at 29.90, but still up $1.61 or 5.7% on nearly 2 million shares. So a pretty good pop there, and we'll see if we get a follow through. And my initial target is 31.90, 32 zone. The FAZ ultra short, the Direxion Financial Triple Bear, appears to be forming a basing pattern as well. The does look a little different. You can still see declining top signs, which need to be taken out. And but we do have a little bit of a pop up, pull back, and now kind of a consolidation or wedge forming. This big coiling base pattern perhaps is the sign that a bottoming pattern is being put in place. Got to get a move through 41.75 or so, could trigger it. And my target on this one would be about 45.5. China Interactive Group has having a very good time of it of late. Nice rising, steady rising channel, accelerated in April, pulled back to retest, popped to new highs, and then formed a beautiful wedge. It came out yesterday on heavy volume. Today had a beautiful follow-through day, up 4% or 38 cents, but nevertheless, stepping back and looking at the long-term pattern, it appears that we're about to test the 09 high and could break out and move substantially higher. If we do get a move across the 950-60 zone, I'll look for something up around 11. Genetic Technologies, GENE, continues to act great, and at this point appears to have formed a new rising channel after this big pop and breakaway gap in April. You can consolidate for a couple of days, then popped and broke out, pulled back, and a nice 3-day flag. Has been moving steadily higher for the last several sessions. A move out over the 960 area occurred today, but it couldn't quite follow through and backed off to 920. So now we need to get over 960-80 zone, but my short-term target is 13.5. GLBC, Global Crossing, after this huge gap up in April, and this beautiful 4-week coil, started to move on Monday, followed through yesterday, and again another 244 today, or 9% on nearly 1.8 million. That's the heaviest volume we've had since this big spike up day. And at this point, it appears we may be shortly reaching that 30.5, 31 zone target. But beyond that, 33, 34, even mid-30s may be doable. Coffee Holding Company, JVA, after this big pop in March that saw it go from 4 to 8, literally doubling in a couple days, then pulled back down, based out, and today popped nicely at 58 cents or 9%. As volume increased to the heaviest volume since mid-March, a couple months now. I'm looking for a move at and a test of the 8.815 zone on a short-term basis to retest this high. If that's taken out, around 9.5, 10 may be doable. Level 3 communications moving nicely after it popped in April and then had this wedge pattern or coil. We've had a 4-day steady run up. It's taken it from about $1.75 to just under 2, and it appears that a run at the 210.15 zone may be doable short term. That's the top of the channel. If it accelerates, we may see 2.5 to 3/4. Macy's had a big day today. If you look at the long-term pattern, you'll see that multi-year resistance existed in this 4-year resistance existed, and that was taken out with a thrust and price volume surge and gap today, closing up 204 on 32.7 million shares, up nearly 8%. That's the biggest volume we've seen in a long time on Macy's. But more importantly, the breakaway gap here is signaling perhaps a new rising trend underway. And next test would be something up in the low to mid 30s. Moving on to OXGN, been stellar in the last few sessions, has moved from $1.88 to $5.44 almost tripling in the last 5 sessions. So, and we are getting a little bit long in the tooth in that with a 200% movement in a week and a half, with this kind of heavy volume spiking up of 16 million today, up 23% by the way. We now reached the November-December resistance zone where the previous highs were. So at this point, I wouldn't be shocked to see it pull back in this zone and do a little bit of a consolidation perhaps for a couple of days, but we'll see. Right now, momentum is strong enough that it should it break out past that 5 3/4, 6 zone, which is resistance, I would look for something up around 7.5, 3/4, etc. My secondary target. Procera Networks, PKT, which we had swing trades on here and here. Today had a spike on 544,000, $1.25, 12.6%, and broke out across the April, early May double top. Now, in the confines of this larger channel, it appears that we could see a move that takes us up as high as 16, and that will be my swing trade target for PKT. Quantum Fuel Systems has been exploding the last couple sessions and moved from 2.25 to 490 in the last week. Big move, but the key to today's move is not only heavy volume and spike in technicals, but an explosion through the 50-day moving average. Short-term move could see as high as 5 3/4 short-term. That's my trading target. Secondary target around 7. Big move today for ROVI, the biggest gainer on our board, up 880 on 12.4 million shares. And a gain of 17.7%. But the more important part about today was looking at the February, March highs in the zone where resistance was. It opened above that and stayed above it, closed above it. So perhaps a key support zone now around 58, 8.5. And if this thing gets over 16.5, we can see a move into the mid-60s pretty quickly. Low price TISA, Top Image Systems, exploded out of a blind base pattern today on monstrous volume for the stock. 4.45 million shares, up 67%, right to a lateral price resistance from the 08 highs here. But next target is 4 1/4. That would be my trading target. And with this kind of momentum, it wouldn't shock me if we ran up into that zone fairly quickly. So keep your eye on whether this takes out 239.40 tomorrow. If it does, maybe a nice follow-through day and secondary trade. Tower Stream, TWER, popped from 422 to 474 today and then backed off. There's resistance up in that zone. You can see right here. So I'm not surprised that it did back off, but I'm looking for follow-through and a test of the 5-5-10 zone. More importantly, though, on the longer-term trend, looking at this as the parallel channel. The long-term, perhaps target in around the $7 range, 7.5. Short-term target 6. UNIS, which I've been really high on lately, after pulling back down in mid-April, bounced, pulled back, formed a little bit of a wedge, broke out over the last 3 sessions, it moved up steadily. Notice volumes increasing and so are technicals. Even though we reached 604 right at the resistance level from the March highs, it backed off. I will look for a move through that and a test of 640 and then $7. And lastly, today is the ZSL Pro Shares Ultra Short Silver. Monster move from 1283 up to 2449 in a 5-day period. Was followed this week by a pullback that held the 20-day moving average, which is now flattened out, 21-day. And the volume also pulled back, and today it popped as volume expanded 37.6 million, up 295 or 15.7%. If silver comes down and comes down hard here, there's a possibility we may see a fairly big move in Procera and the ZSL that takes it to somewhere up around potentially $30 or better. But that's an intermediate target. Short-term target now about 27.5. And that's your charts of the day for today. Have a good evening.